Hello, hope you're having a great day. Today's Monday, the start of a new week, and I need to be a bit more busy than I have been lately. You know, the last couple of videos that have come out on the other channel have had quite a large gap between them. I've still got to film an outro today and release the latest video on the other channel, but I really need to get round to the garage and start filming a new video because, I just haven't been busy enough lately. Now, I am still living a hectic life, still living a busy life. I'm still grateful that I'm not being an utter waste man that I used to, but I know I can do more, and it's time to start doing that. To be honest, this morning I've been, watching what my mind's doing as usual, and I'm starting to get a load of thoughts about how, my current life isn't going to work, etc., etc. I was starting to worry about money, and just focusing on negativity. Now, I'm lucky that I analyse my mind the way that I do, and I'm able to see that these are just thoughts. I'm able to see that my mind isn't always on my side. I'm also able to see that a lot of the time, any success in anything isn't down to how it's going really in any moment. It's down to how long you stick at it. Any of you guys out there might feel like you're failing at something you're doing at the moment, whether it be business, fitness, or whatever. And, you could give up today, and you might not know that tomorrow might have been the day where things were going to turn around, but you just had to stay in it until tomorrow. So, I'm sort of reminding myself of that fact. A lot of the time it's, how long you can stick at things, is the determining factor of what success you're going to get out of said things, right? Ultimately, if you give up something, then you're guaranteed to fail. If you don't give up, then that's the only way that you can possibly not fail and possibly succeed at anything. Now, usually I have sort of negative thoughts about my life and about doing YouTube, when I'm really skint and when things are really bad. And at the moment, look, I'm still living a life where, I'm not exactly rich. I'm still living a life where I haven't got enough time to do everything that I need to. It is manic, it is hard, but I'm not in the worst position at the moment. So I'm just sort of hanging on to that and focusing on that. And that kind of proves that a lot of this stuff is just in your head, because I've been in worse situations, financially or whatever, way you want to look at it, than I am now. And I've felt better than I do now about my situation. And on the flip side, I've been in way better situations than I am now, but felt worse about it. So, it is all in your mind. And ultimately, any thoughts like that are just going to distract me from what I need to do, which is then going to hinder how successful I can be with the various things that are going on in my life. So, it's just another example of the fact that I need to get out of my head, stop getting drawn into what my mind's doing and use that energy instead to focus on doing the stuff that I know I need to do, which ultimately is going to help me make a success of everything that I'm trying to do. And look, ultimately, even with all that aside, I'm still in the best shape that I've ever been. My health and fitness is the most important thing in my life, and that is, in a better state than it's ever been. So what have I really got to be negative about? Absolutely nothing. But that doesn't mean that my mind isn't going to constantly try and trip me up with negative thoughts, no matter how relevant or irrelevant those thoughts are. Now, today I have been able to get up at 7:30, which is cool. I did spend about 20 minutes sitting on the foot end of my bed, struggling to get going, with my mind trying to persuade me to go back to bed. And there were loads of thoughts, trying to persuade me to go back to sleep. Luckily, I didn't end up going back to sleep, and I've just been going through my morning routine. I'm not getting through things in an ideal time frame, because I spent 20 minutes getting going. I didn't actually get out on my walk until about 8:10. We're about 9:10 now, I believe. And I've, already been for my walk around the block, written in my journal. I've just had a meditation. Found myself scrolling a little bit on my phone after my meditation, if I'm honest. Just sort of, wasting time. And I shouldn't be. So now that I've picked up the camera and I've said hello to you guys, it is time for me to dive into my workout. Going to keep it simple. This evening in the gym, I'm going to be doing legs, but here at home, I'm just going to bang out some push-ups, sit-ups, and I'll do the hammer bicep curls, 2 sets of each, and then I'm going to dive in my cold shower, and then I can crack on with the rest of my day. Alright, so you joined me on the way to my other garage to work on one of my cars, and to be honest, I've wasted so much time today just procrastinating, you know, trying to decide what exactly I'm going to do with my day. I've mentioned so many times that, you know, I'm lucky to have this sort of interesting life where I've always got a variety of things to do, you know, whether it be getting out to work on my car, whether it be, you know, keeping my head in my MacBook, dealing with stuff. You know, I've often always got some parts that I bring home with me that I can work on at home, and that's the case at the moment. But, you know, the downside of having such an interesting life and a variety of things to do is that if you don't decide which one of those things you're going to crack on with, you end up doing nothing. And that is definitely what has happened to me today. So I've ended up getting out later than would be ideal, just because I was contemplating not going out and going to my other garage. There's a company I need to see that's near my other garage, which was a reason why I should get out today. I also had some merchandise to take to the post office, so that's another reason for me to get out and about today. But, you know, it had already got to sort of 12 noon, so it was already only going to be half a day out. And I do have parts at home to work on, so that was sort of an excuse for me to stay home. I've also still got to spend some time going through and doing my books. I need to tidy up at home a bit. So there was multiple reasons why I should and multiple reasons why I shouldn't head out today. And then, yeah, I just made the decision to head out. You know, by then it was sort of 20 to 1. I'm not going to the post office. I'm going to leave that till tomorrow because that's just going to eat into my time that I've got at the garage. But yeah, it's just one of them days where I spent way too much deciding what to do and not enough time doing what I need to do. But here's a thought I was thinking about earlier, right? You know, completely changing the subject now. You know, you get those posts, you know, when people die, right, on Facebook. I'm sure you've seen them before. There might be like a friend of a friend, might be someone that you went to school with, you know, someone who's not necessarily a friend of yours, but someone you know of, or someone who you know through someone else, you know, a friend of a friend. And, you know, it's sad when someone dies, right? Especially when they die relatively young, right? You know, I'm 38 years old, and, you know, there's certainly been a good few examples of, you know, people on Facebook, posts on Facebook, mentioning where people my age have died, you know, all of a sudden. And a lot of these posts, you know, it might be where someone's died of a heart attack in their 30s, or, you know, unfortunately got cancer and then died, like, in their 30s or younger. And, you know, as much as it is sad, and, you know, I wouldn't expect anyone to comment, you know, anything but sympathy on them posts, right? But a lot of the time, you do get comments where people are saying, oh, it's so unfair, they were taken too early, oh, you know, they were too young, you know, it's always the good ones that get taken. And then, you know, these posts will have the person tagged in them, so, you know, you'll be nosy and have a look at their profile just to see if they are sort of familiar to you, see if they are someone that you've known at any point. And their profile will be full of pictures of them eating unhealthy food, going out every weekend drinking. You'll see pictures where their jaw is clearly hanging off their skull because they're on some sort of Class A drugs. You'll even see comments in those posts where they're moaning about the price of fags, you know, like, so, you know, when people live unhealthy lives and they don't look after themselves and then they die in their 30s of a heart attack, I'm sorry, but they weren't taken too young. You know, you reap what you sow. Life is usually very fair in these things. In fact, most people end up living longer than they should. You You know, if I was to die tomorrow of a heart attack, or I was to get a stroke tomorrow, that wouldn't be unfair. That would be what I deserve, because I've spent most of my adulthood, you know, being unhealthy, taking drugs, not looking after myself. I spent years and years and years basically teasing death. And that's how it is with a lot of people, you know. A lot of these people, now I understand that there will be exceptions, but they are exceptions, you know. Most people live unhealthy lives and still live, you know, into old age, right? My parents both smoked for 50 years of their life, and they're now in their late 70s, you know. So, you know, when you see these posts where unhealthy people, fat, unhealthy people, people that drink all the time, people that take drugs, people that never go exercise, when you see these posts where people like that have died young, yes, it's sad. Yes, you know, comment with sympathy, etc., etc. But also, think to yourself, are you living a healthy life? If you died tomorrow, maybe you're in your 30s like me, if you died tomorrow, would it be unfair? Or would it be what you deserve? Because that could be a good reason for you to turn your life around like I'm trying to do, and live a more healthy life, so that you do deserve to live longer and stronger. All right, so just got back home after being around the garage, and it was definitely worth going around there today, even though I did go around there late. What I was doing today required quite a lot of head scratching before I could actually start working, just trying to figure out how I was going to tackle the job that I was doing. So yeah, it was definitely worth going around there today, you know, to get that head scratching out of the way, as well as making a start on the job. And I'll be continuing on with that job tomorrow. And yeah, I definitely feel better about the job than I would have if I hadn't gone around there today to make a start on it. So yeah, it was worth making the trip. It's now 5:30. I've still got to edit yesterday's video on this channel. I've still got to do all the work to do with the video that's going out on the other channel this evening as well, the thumbnails and description and all that. So, you know, I need to crack on with that right now, and then I'm going to try and get myself to the gym as early as I can to bang out a leg session. But realistically, you know, it's 5:30 now. I'm definitely not going to get to the gym before 7, but we'll see how early I can get there, because I think I at least want to make a start on doing the backlog of accounts that needs to be done, you know, the books for my business tonight when I get back from the gym. So yeah, need to bang out all the work I need to now, and then get to the gym for that leg session as early as I can. All right, so I've just made it to the gym, and it's not 7 p.m. It's 13 minutes past 8 p.m. Hopefully that'll mean that the gym is going to be a bit more quiet than it would have been if I did manage to get here at 7 p.m. But yeah, going to go in and do a leg session. Going to push myself as much as I can, as usual. I'm not going to rush through this session, but I would like to be at home and in the shower by 10 p.m. That would be ideal. I would like to dive into doing some of the books this evening, as I think I've already mentioned in this video. But yeah, even if I get home at 10 p.m, by the time I have a shower and stuff, yeah, that might be unrealistic, but I think I need to chip away at some of it, just because I've been putting it off and this keeps happening. I keep not having enough time for it. I mean, not the end of the world. Like, the books that are sort of I need to do now don't need to be in a tax return until next January, but you know, that's not the point. I should be keeping on top of it. Anyway, I digress. Time for me to get in there and crack on with this leg session. Going to be doing my usual very fast, very steep incline walk as a warm-up, just 0.6 miles, nothing serious, literally just to get my body warm, and then going to be diving into the 6 machines on legs. It's going to be an absolute killer, especially that leg press really takes it out of me. But you know, you get out what you put in this stuff, and you need to push yourself if you're going to make any progress, and that's what I intend to do. Going to have something educational or positive in my ears, of course, whilst I'm working out. Be listening to some stuff on YouTube, and I'll be probably answering some comments from the videos that I've put out today whilst I'm resting between sets. But yeah, that's enough waffling. Let's get in there and crack on with this leg session.
All right, leg session done. It's now 9 minutes to 10. So I'm probably nearly going to be in the shower at 10 p.m, which was the goal. But yeah, I sort of took my time with the session. I did have to wait for a couple of the machines. At the beginning of the session, it was really busy in the gym. And yeah, I mean, once I'd got a few of the machines under my belt, it all of a sudden got quiet. A couple of things to note: the leg press, which I normally like to bang out early on in the session because it just takes everything out of me. It really does. I'm doing 235 pounds on there now, which is over 100 kilos. Banging out 10 reps on each of the 3 normal sets, and then I go up to 250 pounds for the upset, and then down to 190 and 160 pounds on the drop set. So yeah, it really takes everything out of me. But today, because the machines were taken, I actually went on the leg press 4th. By then I was really fatigued, but I'm really happy that I was still able to do the 10 reps at 235. So yeah, that was good. I went on the hip abduction and hip adduction at the end, supersetting those machines, just going from one to the other, because they're not normally busy. So, there's not much chance of someone jumping on one of them whilst you're doing that. But tonight, someone actually did. But it was just before I was about to do my upset on the second of those. I think it's hip abduction. So I decided to flop the upset and the 2 drop sets on that. Because yeah, that was literally all that was left of the whole session, and the woman literally just jumped on there just as I was finishing my last drop set on the hip adduction. So literally, if I was done 10 seconds earlier, I would have been able to quickly get over there and do those sets, and then she would have had to wait for me. But that's the way it goes. So yeah, didn't quite complete the session. So yeah, really good leg session. I actually started to feel ill halfway through it, to be honest. I don't know if I am ill or not, but I did remember that last night I kind of woke up halfway through the night with a stomach ache, and today, even though, sorry to be so graphic, but even though I have been for a number 2 today, I have been doing really smelly farts. So yeah, I don't know if I've got like a bit of a stomach bug or whatever. It's sort of, in the gym, it made me feel sort of weak and shaky. It might just be that I've exerted myself in the gym, but I have eaten enough today. I had my breakfast, I had a load of fruit and a protein yogurt around the garage, and I then had 1.5 sandwiches at home whilst I was editing yesterday's video on this channel. So, I've eaten plenty. So I'm not sure, maybe I'm low on energy, even though I've eaten a lot, or maybe I have got a little stomach bug. But yeah, it's weird because the symptoms feel like it could be something quite bad, because I did feel shaky and really rough, but the sort of intensity of it seems really bearable. I was able to carry on with my session. So yeah, that's a good thing. That shows that if I am coming down with something, my body's definitely strong enough to fight it. We'll just have to see how I feel tomorrow. But I've decided that I'm not going to bother diving into doing my books or anything tonight. I think I need to focus on rest, because the morning routines, whilst I'm in them, they're kind of dragging, and I'm finding myself scrolling between different stages of the morning routine. And the morning routine is key. Like, I must keep doing the morning routines, but if I'm going to progress in my life, in my self-improvement, I need to be able to bang, 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 bang through my morning routines, not rush through it. I still need to get the benefits of it. I still need to stay in the present moment whilst I'm going through the morning routine, but I need to waste less time during it. And I think that me getting enough rest of a night time, focusing again on trying to get to bed at 11, yeah, maybe that'll be the difference. Maybe that'll help me when I do get up, because I'm finding that when I'm sitting on the foot end of my bed trying to persuade my mind that it's not a good idea to go back to sleep, when I'm having that battle, one of the thoughts that's going through my mind is that I'm not getting enough rest. So I think if I can get enough sleep at night, maybe it's going to make my non-lazy mind a bit stronger whilst I'm going through that battle in the morning. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud here, but But yeah, I'm gonna get home now, gonna jump straight in the shower, and then yeah, gonna have some dinner. My beautiful girlfriend is kindly gonna knock me up some dinner. I think I've got chicken and vegetables. But yeah, first gym session of the week down. Feeling knackered, feeling proud of myself, feeling hungry, feeling sweaty. Surprise, surprise, dinner consists of chicken and eggs. Got 2 chicken breasts, 2 eggs, loads of vegetables. Gonna have my second protein yogurt of the day for dessert. And my beautiful girlfriend has also knocked up our smoothie that we have every day. Pomegranate juice, kiwi fruits, frozen blueberries, and natural yogurt. But yeah, I'm gonna munch this and then I'm just gonna focus on resting. I may import the clips that I captured around the garage earlier on, but I might not even do that, to be honest. It might be better to just not turn my MacBook on and just focus on eating and resting and trying to get to bed at 11. And yeah, let's just hope that what I felt in the gym either isn't me getting ill at all, or is something that's not going to make me feel worse tomorrow. Because tomorrow I really need to get around the garage early, and I keep saying that all the time, and then one thing or another just delays me. But yeah, I'll be going around the garage regardless. But I could do with a full day around there, you know, sort of finish doing the job that I started today, which is a bit time consuming, and yeah, create more content, and yeah, the journey continues. But as always, got to get up early. That's the first battle of the day. Get through my morning routine, and yeah, and then we'll see how the rest of the day goes, because no matter what, my health and fitness is my #1 priority, and it has to be for me to continue living this clean and healthy life. So I'm going to end this video here. Massive thanks as always to everyone who's tuned in. As always, feel free to say hello in the comments if you want to have a chat, or if you want to talk to me privately, feel free to get in touch through Facebook or Instagram. Quite happy to chat to you guys about your fitness journey or your sobriety journey or anything else you want to chat about. All the links to everything will be in the description as usual. But other than that, I'll chat to you tomorrow.